Gmail, Outlook, AOL, Yahoo. Let's talk about email. You have it, I have it. In fact, 4 billion people around the world use email. No surprise that communicating over email is absolutely essential for running your blog and expanding your reach. So in this lesson, I'll teach you everything you need to know to run smart email campaigns. We'll go through how to connect with new subscribers using an automatic welcome email, highlight some of your top content with newsletters, and notify readers each time a new post drops. Let's get started. Remember back in lesson 2 when we talked about adding a subscription form to your blog? Your site automatically saves everyone who filled this out into your contact list, so I can go ahead and access that list now. From my main dashboard, I'll click Contacts here, and that'll bring me to this list, which includes subscribers, readers who reached out directly through the contact form, and even customers who brought Trekit swag. And I can filter them. So for now, I'll click Subscribe Status and then Subscribe to see who actually signed up for my content. And I'll tell you why. Email subscribers are 3.5 times more likely to share your content than other readers. So I want to make sure that I take care of them and make sure that they are having a solid experience. So with that in mind, let's set up this email automation. As soon as readers subscribe, I want to send them an email right away while I'm top of mind. So I want my blog to automatically send a confirmation. I only have to set this up once, and then the email is good to go anytime I get a new subscriber. I'll click CRM Tools over here, and then Automations. Under Build Customer Relationships, there's a button that says Send Thank You Emails to Visitors that Submit. Select that and click Use This Automation. Now, when creating an automation, there are 3 main parts: the trigger, the action, and the timing. The trigger is what a user does on your site that sets everything in motion, like clicking subscribe. The action is the thing that happens once the trigger is activated, like sending an email. And the timing is how often or when you want this action to occur. So naturally, let's start with the trigger. Click on the dropdown and you'll see the trigger is already set to when visitor submits a form. Works for me, but you can choose whatever you want here. For trigger every time, I'll set it to where it says visitor submits a form. Next, I can select which specific form triggers the automation. In this case, I want my email to link up to my subscription forms on both my homepage and my individual post pages. All right, the trigger is all set, so next up is the action. This is what I want the automation to actually do. Send emails to contacts pre-selected. Great. But if you're looking for something else, there are a ton of other options here. Under here where it says Customize Your Sender Details, my from name and my reply to email are already filled in. And make sure to make this personal and add in your own name or your blogs. Because the average person receives 121 emails every day. That's more than 44,000 emails every year and one busy inbox. So half the battle is breaking through all that noise. And making it seem like it's actually from a person is really helpful for that. So with that in mind, let's head to Create Your Email. Here you can customize the content, look, and feel of the automated email so that it reflects your brand. Click Edit Template, and first I'll edit my subject line. I'll go with something straightforward for now, like thanks for subscribing to Trekit, so they'll know exactly why they're receiving this email, and then I can get a bit more creative later on when I send them email updates now that they recognize me. Since I asked for my subscriber's name on my contact form, I can add dynamic values and personalize each subject line with the reader's name, and that usually helps boost open rates. When it comes to writing subject lines, a good benchmark to know your emails are working well is that your email should have a 20% open rate. Anything less means that your subject line wasn't compelling enough. And another fun fact, emails sent on Tuesday usually have a higher open rate than the rest of the week, and mornings always work best. Next up, the body of the email. At the top of my email, I want to add my logo. So I'll click here to change the image, and I'll pick my logo from my folder that's already in here. Then add a link so that readers can click it and get right to my homepage. In my email header, I'll welcome readers and let them know that they're now on my subscriber list. I like saying they're on the list because it gives some sort of exclusivity to it. I'm going to go with Helvetica and 48 pixels so that it's readable everywhere and will work on any computer or phone. Then for my body text, you want this to be conversational and exciting. So thank people for subscribing and give them a taste of what they can expect to come. As a closer here, I want to include a call to action, or CTA, that pulls my readers back into my site somehow, because that's the main goal here, bringing them back to the page. It can be anything you want, but make it logical. Think about it for a second. They just signed on. What do your readers want to do now? Since my blog includes a store that lets them buy Trek It swag, and we'll talk about that in lesson 14, maybe they'll want to celebrate their subscription, so I'll use that as my chance to create a call for action. And now that we have the text for the body of this email, it's time to spruce up the actual design as well. So I'll change out the fonts and the colors, and I'll go with Helvetica here again. And I can also change the background color to match the colors of my blog and keep that branding going. And down in the footer, I'm also able to link out to my own social pages and encourage people to share on theirs. And I'll make sure that my website link actually goes back to my page. So I'll do that by clicking right here and adding a link right in. Okay, done. Now that we've drafted an automated email for new subscribers, I'll click Save and Publish to see what I've created. And I can't stress this next step enough. Test your emails out before you send them to readers, on desktop and on mobile. Make sure it looks the way you want, check for spelling mistakes, test out links to assure they lead you where you want them to. This is their first impression of what it's like to be a subscriber on your blog, so you don't want to start it off with an embarrassing mistake. To do that, I'll hit Preview and Test, Send Test Email, and type in your own email address, and then click Send. Now, the final component for your automated email is timing. This automation is scheduled for immediately after trigger. Great, but if you want to delay this email, go to Choose a Time to send this action and click Set Custom Time and choose whatever you want. Under Limit Frequency 2, I'll select Once per Contact. And there, my email automation is all set. Okay, now let's create a newsletter. To create an email newsletter, I'll have to go back to my main dashboard, click Marketing and SEO, and then Email Marketing. A few templates will pop up right away, and they're usually related to upcoming holidays or trends, and I'll select this one and start editing. If this screen looks familiar, it's because the setup and the features for email marketing are exactly the same as what we just used for email automation. So again, for my main header here, I'll change it to something short and informative that clearly represents your brand so that people know it's you. This header may seem a little short, but the average person only spends 13.4 seconds on a single email before moving on. So it's really important to relay a lot of information pretty quickly, keeping this in mind as we head into the email subheader. I'll do something fun right up here and play off some seasonal trends to make sure that this is relevant no matter who's receiving the email and where they are in the country. As far as this picture, I can change it up, but I'm actually going to delete this to minimize the amount of scrolling my readers will have to do on their phones. And just to show how much you could change up this template and to minimize that scroll again, I'll delete this big chunk of text right here too. I'll put in a header for my first article here and a description. And remember as I do this, this is not your blog post. Don't go too long here, just give them a taste of what's to come, enough to drive them back to your site for more, because again, that's the goal. Then I'll change the image here, choosing one from my library. And down here, I'll click on the CTA, and I can change up the content to say, read more. And then I'll click over to design, and I'll change the text color to black, the fill color to white, and the border color back to black. And while I'm at it, I want these lines to match too. So I'm gonna go ahead and click one, click design, and change that to black too. So now I wanna add another section here. So I'll click on add, then columns, and choose this layout. And I'll drag this down under here, under what I already have written. Now you can repeat the same steps to add another section and change up anything else you want. And once you're done, up top, I have a desktop and mobile icon that lets me preview my email from both devices. And again, don't forget to check mobile. 80% of people navigate the internet on their phones, and it can be easy to forget that when you're creating something on desktop or on a laptop. I'll click Send Test Email, add my personal address in the Send To field, and click Send. And after a quick check, I'll click back to Editing, Next, and select which of my contacts I want to send this email to. I'll keep my toggle set to only show active contacts, and then under Labels, I'll select All and click Next. Finally, this is where I can edit my subject line, add a dynamic value like a subscriber's name, and check that my from name and reply to email are all correct. I want this email subject line to stand out in my readers' inboxes, so I think something like this could work. Then click Send Now to blast out your email marketing campaign. Or you can also set the date and time for a future newsletter if you want to send it later. I'll click Schedule Email, select this coming Tuesday at 11 a.m., and then Schedule Campaign. How often you send your newsletter to subscribers is entirely up to you, but just keep in mind, more than once a week could annoy your subscribers, but less than once a month could cause them to forget about you entirely. But what about the times when you want to send an email that's not part of your monthly newsletter? Let's get into that. A final way to keep up your relationship with your readers is to send out an email every time you have a new post. Now, I only suggest this if you post periodically. If you're posting daily, skip this. It'll only annoy your readers. To create an email marketing campaign for a single post, I'll select the post I want for my blog and choose Create Email Campaign. Just like my automation and newsletter, I can customize this email any way I want. What's different is that my email comes pre-populated with my blog post title and preview text from the article itself. But same thing here. Once you're done, just check that everything is good to go and either send it or schedule it. That was a lot, so just to review. Today, we ran through how to send welcome emails, monthly newsletters, and new content announcements. And each are essential for building your following, nurturing your communities, connecting with readers, and ultimately growing your blog. And I think I'll leave it there for now, but I'll meet you back here to talk about expanding your reach even more with the next lesson, connecting with other bloggers. See you there.